Hello, everyone. I've been going over Facebook and YouTube, like I do. I don't know how great of an opening phrase that is, but it's true. So I'm going to stick with it for now. With the YouTube, watching some videos, as you can see, I am watching halfway through, population collapse is the biggest issue threatening the economy. God forbid the economy should be threatened. It would be devastating if there were less people consuming and burning and shredding and shitting and pissing and destroying and consume. That would be terrible if there was less people doing that because the economy. I mean, we have to have enough humans to grind into the economy. If we don't have enough flesh and suffering to shove into the maw of capitalism, whatever shall we do will be this. I get why some people are worried about the economy because it's what they've always known. It's really what I have always known. I've just never liked it. And people that are much like a devout religious person that's being confronted with the falsity of their religion, of their belief, of the dissolving of their belief in magic and the invisible wizard. There's fear because they're having to reevaluate their entire existence and their entire belief system. I don't have that fear because I've always been doing this. I've always seen the negatives, and when I hear the far leftists describe utopia, and I hear the far rightists describe their utopia, I don't like either one of those. But the reality is, you can't have forever growth on a finite space. Pretty simple. Super simple. You can't have infinite growth with finite space and materials. That's just the fact. I've always understood this. I've read the Lorax. I know all that. We all already know the Dr. Seuss basic mechanics, physics of growth and materials. And pretending otherwise is just belief in an invisible wizard of some sort. But being confronted by that, if you've never confronted it or if you've always put it off, I could see where a lot of people will freak out about it. Sucks to be you. The thing that this video is pointing out, David Lynn is interviewing Daryl Bricker. One of the things they are talking about or brought up was the workforce and not having enough people. But then he also expanded, it's like, it's not about the workforce, it's about consumption. With less people, there's less consumption. With less mouths to feed, there's less need. With less children, we need less education. With less people, we need less soldiers. With less people, we need less of everything. But the economy can't grow. So it always comes back to this worshiping of the economy and not having ever contemplated a stable or a non-growth based system. Capitalism and what our money is based on, what our loans are based on, and how money and wealth is produced is based on growth. And if you don't have that growth, there will be a collapse of that system. Good. The economic devastation will be great, I think. It's hard to imagine. I mean, like the Depression, and everybody's unsure, and corporations are shutting down and pulling back. Banks are closing. I mean, it'll be all the chaos of a depression, of a recession, of all the economic chaos that we've had in the past, with a constriction of economy, or a consolidation, like around the Depression. But in the end, and I suppose I should also, in the end, I think it's going to be positive. But in the end, it's going to be what it is, regardless. It will be what it will be. It is what it is. All these platitudes. I grew up reading sci-fi and reading about some series were about the devastation, the collapse of economy, the cyberpunk, the Blade Runner, the Mad Max, all those about the chaos. And then I've also read countless books, because I can't count them, countless sci-fi series after the fact, where they're in a small city utopia where most of the planet is either gone back natural and humans are in pockets, or it's gone back to like 1920s small towns, or in, what was it? Was it Robotech? One of the, a series where most of the population lives in space stations above the Earth, and there's excursions down to the Earth that has been trying to be kept pristine. Super awesome, super fun. And of course, they wouldn't be novels or stories without a conflict. So it's always about some sort of disturbance to make a story. A story that says everything is great, everyone was happy. Nobody's going to read that. Everybody wants to live it, but it's hard to explore it in a story because everything's great, everyone's happy. It's hard to it's difficult to even imagine. One of the questions I've been talking back and forth, or texting back and forth with Zeus, Musical Zeus, about this, because I shared the video with him. What would I speculate to be the result of capitalism's failure? That was, I think I already mentioned that. One of the other issues, or one of the questions that was brought up is the workforce, particularly by them not having enough people to support the population, an older population. AI, really, and it feels, what's the word for always having the same answer to every question? Anyway, it feels like that, always having the same answer to every question. AI is the answer. But in this, AI and robotics clearly is the answer, as we don't have enough workforce, or qualified workforce, or people, or however you want to phrase it. AI and robotics is going to step in to supplement where we don't have enough meat sickles meat bots to do the job. We're going to get silicon and steel to do the job, which in my mind offsets the problem of depopulation or lower population, and all of this is years off. We're going to see it's going to be a slow chipping away of the population. They're talking 2050. Man, I don't know if I'll even be here to see that decline. But there's always question of not having enough people. AI is going to step in. I had a point, something about economy, the opposite of robots taking over. Lost my train of thought. It's early. If I have the choice between continuous growth and living on a planet with 10 billion plus people and the amount of consumption and waste and conflict of having ever increasing mouths to feed and ever increasing shit to deal with, or a decreasing population where we concentrate more on supporting the people that are here, and having less waste, less conflict, less environmental impact, less of everything, less humans, seems like a better way to go. Seems like a better lifestyle than overcrowding and everything that comes with it. All the complaints about too many people, immigrants, conflicts, all the negative things that comes with too many people, which used to be the complaint. Economists are now going, no, we need more people to make it grow. I would rather live in a world with less people than more people. My point was there was always a worry. I think Musk put this out or made it popular, but there was somebody before that, and I can't remember who it was, but the less population means less brains. And the more brains we have working on problems, the better, the more intelligence we have. That was also one of the concerns. That was my AI also supplements that, because we already have AI. We're going to have AI agents, and AI agents was described to me by several AI experts as infinite graduate students on demand. Well, that's brains. Those graduate students, the assumption is they're smart enough to see patterns and find problems as good, if not better, than humans at some point. So the worry that we won't be able to solve as many problems or be as smart, or a decrease in intelligence because of a population drop, I think AI also is going to solve that. Or make up the difference. What do I think capitalism collapsing will look like? I don't know. I guess in my hopes for utopia, or hopes for humanity, or hopes for the future, the The discomfort and chaos in between, I mostly gloss over because I don't know what that looks like. Every story I've ever read about it is catastrophic and miserable and suffering, but that makes for better stories. Yeah, again, if everything's great and everybody's fine, end of story, one sentence. So I don't know what that looks like. It's probably going to be uncomfortable. My solution or my plan, which I don't think I'm going to be. My plan is to build the Florida Man off-grid hurricane bunker with high-speed internet and just hunker down and watch the world burn, whatever that means. I don't even imagine that I'm going to get that far. I think it's already happening. We're already experiencing the collapse. I'm going to do my best to make that situation happen, only for my own anxiety and because I like to be out of harm's way, but still keep throwing stones at things I don't like. Seems silly. I don't know what's going to happen. I think a population decline is best for humanity. Ever-increasing growth is not possible on a finite space and planet with finite resources. It's just not going to continue going on. So I think a shrinkage of population, a more focused on quality of life and bettering the life for everybody that's here, but not relying on reproduction and just making the rats screw and make more rats, or taking away the big one. I should go back. The big one now that we're fighting with the religious right and the groups that are supporting Trump because he thinks he's for that, and he kind of is, taking the rights away from women so that they can't control their birth rate, to force women to have babies by taking away their conscious decision to have it, I think is also madness. Conscious decisions, I think, are superior to life just happening, to being forced without a decision. I think a decision is better than not having a decision. And taking away rights from a conscious individual is also not okay. What we need to do is accommodate those rights, figure out a better way, a different way than biblical female slavery, essentially, or making women non-citizen baby makers and making the men are more important and more valuable and make all the I think that's the wrong direction. But that's what's playing out now, isn't it? That's what we're deciding, whether we're going to go of authoritarian theocracy, which seems to be the right wing, the Republican path, or more rights and the chaos that comes with having to adjust society to that. One is going backwards, thinking that's going to solve a problem. I don't think going back is ever an option. One is making more problems, but having to solve the new problems and find a way to conform to the new reality. which I think is the progressive choice, is the way forward. Anyway, I'm rambling. The population is going to drop. Overpopulation has never been a concern. But now suddenly the economists are super worried about the economy collapsing because we're not making enough babies. Good. Morning, everyone. Peace. Be thoughtful.